Hello, my name is Sutherland, and welcome back for another episode of Heartland 3 in Black Ice as PRC. So, at this point we're defending on the Siam front. I mean, there's not much defending going on in there. I think the British are actually pushing the Japanese back because the Japanese just don't have any convoys. I think the only convoys that they might still have going is through Tsushima Strait into Busan. I think that is, actually, I'm not entirely sure which side that is. I think it's on Tsushima Strait. But anyway, they probably have a bit of convoys coming in here. But I think we might be soon ready for the round 2 of this combat. Ooh, we're getting some naval bombers. We'll put this one in Shanghai, actually. Do we have a fleet destroyer somewhere in here? A carpet bomber, there's a tank destroyer. Is that? That's a fleet destroyer, there we go. It just doesn't have a lot of skill level, mind you, but it's alright. We don't need to worry about it too much. Oh, there we go, so we're getting some more naval bombers soon enough. And of course we've got the interceptors over here. There's only 2 wings thus far. But yeah, I think it might be time to start the round 2 of this combat. We did remove some of the enemy units already in the previous attempt. We'll attack with these, and then we'll leave like most of the units that are still in need of repairs. We'll leave behind. But let's see, we got 50%. Okay, so they got still 28 divisions there, or 28 units. Oh, but that one's not in. Oh, they might still have some supply issues. So some of them may not have... Oh yeah, there's actually several units. Oh yeah, the elite light infantry divisions are... One of them is about to shatter. The other one is out of organization. So we don't need to fight one of them. And the other one is probably going to be sorted out fairly quickly. Oh, there we go. We got a bit of air combat in here. Do we have... right, we got the close air support. We could probably do some ground attacks in here. We'll be defensive, so we don't necessarily need to worry too much. I mean, we will need to still regain organization and all that in here. They're, of course, doing quite heavy ground attacks in here, but I suspect that with enough tenacity... I mean, Alberto is leading the combat again. He's got the Order of the Red Star 3rd class now. And he's probably earned a decent bit of... Oh, yeah, he's got Order of the August 1st 3rd class soon enough. There we go. So that's another landing craft. We've got already 5 of them. I believe we've still got 1 more underway, don't we? Yes, and that's going to be done in 3 days. I do actually wonder... Where's the naval bombers that we have? So over here... How far could we reach? We can't reach particularly far. Although, if we were to bring these into way high... No, that's still going to be too far away. Oh well. In that case, it could even be somewhere over here. Instead, and to start sinking convoys going between us and the Philippines. Ooh, artillery carriage design. There we go, so we can get the medium artillery brigades. Yet another upgrade. Might as well do that. Also, there's the anti-air ammunition that could get a bit of boost. So 300, oh not 300, oh, luckily not 300, 232 research underway right now. We're doing a decent chunk of it though, so it's not all bad. But yeah, we need to break through some of these enemy units in here. Of course, now we're going on speed 3 because this is the only battle that we need to keep an eye on. So we should be mostly fine. The measure infantry is probably going to get pushed out of combat soon enough. But we've got several other units still in reserves. And of course, the enemy, well... It's not looking initially the best that they have been. Oh, there we go. Small lasers radar. It's the bombing runs that they're doing, though, is really unfortunate for us. Okay, so we'll take the murder infantry out of the combat already. We'll probably send in another one from here. Maybe that one. Oh, is there? Oh, right. Might want to send in the headquarters a little bit closer. Is there anyone else that is... No, I think that was the other one that was still left behind. And there we go, we did clear out the rebellion over here. We'll probably leave Iliescu's division in the north, just to be on the safe side. They've got 12 units defending, we've got 12 divisions attacking. We've got 16 in reserve, we've got 5, but of course we've got quite a few more that are not in the combat at all, so they don't lose their digging bonus. And thus will take a lot less damage. Oh, Afghanistan's turned into democracy. Alright then, and there's the landing craft. Oh, okay, so we've got 2 landing craft 2s now. Alright then. So when do we get the... Okay, that's got to be April 14th. Did we get any more? Okay, we've got 1.6 armor practical, so we did get a little bit more from turning the motorcycle recon into assault gun. Not like massive, mind you, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. Ooh, there's a garrison that is running a bit low on organization, so that's at least 1 unit that will be destroyed already. And again, we've brought in a bit more troops into the front line in here. Now, do we have... I suppose we could just go ahead and select some of these. Send down south. And then we'll maybe take a couple of these. Send over there. And probably send this one. Hold on a minute, it needs to go to Mazan. There we go, so that's gonna go in there. We've got the close air support, which is not really doing too much yet. Ooh, there we go, more heavy IC. Very good. Transport ship hull advanced to level 4. Is that the last level? That is the max level. Okay, there we go. So then that means we don't need to worry about it anymore. Oh, but there we go. That garrison is done. Now they got another unit in, of course. But yeah, one by one they will start losing ground, I suspect. Right, but while we wait on that battle to go, let's have a look at the situation. So the Soviets have lost Crimea once again. They're still holding on to Moscow, at least. And they're holding on to Voroshilovgrad and Rostov and Voronezh and Tula. But the Germans are pretty close to Moscow. So that does concern me a little bit. The Allies, well, I suppose since Vichy France was already annexed, that means that they've taken a bit of ground in here. But there's Italian troops in Tunis. And, oh, the British have managed to push back the Italians back into Libya. And looks like Yemen might not be long for this world much longer. Iraq is still holding on miraculously. But yeah, Afghanistan now switched sides, so those are going to start helping pushing into Iran. And then probably Iraq will fall soon enough after that. How's the... Oh, right, Italians are still holding off in Sudan. Although I suspect that's probably not going to be for much longer. Norway is still independent. Or like unoccupied for the most part. The Germans still holding to Stavanger. Well, didn't they? I'm pretty sure that they used to have areas over here, didn't they? So they probably got pushed out of there and then they did another landing or something. I suspect. In the meanwhile, back into Korea. There's probably going to be another garrison soon enough retreating out of the, or surrendering. And there's another... Right, let's actually rename this air group. Not necessarily very imaginative names, but it's just easy to spot that, which plane is part of what group and all that, or like what sort of group we're dealing with. Because I don't know the Chinese names all that well, I'm afraid. At this point, we've got quite a bit of production still. I'm just going to go ahead and set up some more plain old infantry. Well, I say plain old infantry. We'll put in light vehicles in there. We'll put in... we'll probably put in heavy AA in there, actually. There's definitely got a bit more piercing, although I don't think there's going to be enough piercing to deal with the German heavy armor or even medium armor necessarily. But we'll get another 10 divisions of these. So we'll start maybe forming up a bit of army to send into Soviet Union as soon as we're ready. Speaking of which, we can probably do another trade with them. Indeed we can. Spending a decent bit of money, although each trade that we do is actually slightly cheaper for us than the previous one. As long as the relations are getting better. Still got 27 units total, so they've only lost one thus far. We have had to pull back a few units. Ooh, search of volunteers. Well, there we go. And fighter ground control training. There we go. So radar combat impact is increased. Air defense network is unlocked. So there we go. Well, for the research, it's unlocked. Right, so that would reduce manpower and supply production, which neither one of those is actually that much of a problem for us. Getting the provisional air efficiency would help. I don't think there's going to be too much bombardment on us right now, at least. The repair rate increase would be okay. The air intercept efficiency would be okay as well. But I think right now it's probably going to serve us better to not put any more research into the research queue if we don't actually need it. So that we can get the things that we actually do need. Research. There we go. There's another garrison that will probably surrender in a day or so. Another unit that will probably shatter soon enough. They are actually already down to 26 units, and there's one of the infantry divisions that they have in the combat that's going to have to pull back soon enough. We might pull back one of these divisions in here. Probably that one. And then we'll probably send in another... Well, we'll send in this mercenary infantry. And then over here, is there anyone that needs to desperately retreat yet? Not really. There we go. We've got 6 divisions still in reserve. And that will keep us going for a little bit longer. They're down to 25 units now. And once they start... Oh, there we go. Encirclement. That's going to allow us to deal even more damage on the units. Especially if we can destroy or force the infantry over here to surrender at the top of the list. That's going to be brilliant. Plus, I suppose that 80 unit over here is going to get shattered soon enough. Ooh, armor car design level advanced. And landing craft flotilla advanced. There we go. Are we still researching the armor car? Yes, we are. Okay. Well, that probably means that our armored car will eventually actually be a viable unit. Because right now the stats of that are still kind of bad. I mean, it's not that much worse than the motorcycle recon either. Speaking of which, okay, we haven't gotten these upgraded yet. So that's going to still take some time. Yeah, Alberto is leading the combat quite admirably. We got the much better skill level, so we have a good chance of getting the pertinent tactics going in here. And there's some more garrisons that are looking pretty rough on the enemy side. They got the paratrooper division in here. Oh, there we go, division HQ advance. That's in human wave. So that would be up here then. Yeah, there we go. So that's already off the research queue. We are taking pretty hefty casualties from the bombardments though. Like each day we're taking like 1,000 or more in these two, judging by the combat logs. Actually more than, like probably up to 2,000 total. And our interceptors are just not doing enough. Well, I suppose I've only set them to be daily, but they've also... Do we have any more interceptors that could be sent up there? That's not quite ready yet. So we got the... We only got 2 sets of interceptors. Basically, we got this one, of course. But we don't have the airbase capacity in here to really deal with all of that. Go ahead and build these 2 up a little bit, at least. And I think I might just go ahead and build a bit more interceptors. Get another 8 squadrons. We're slowly building up at least our air force. Okay, there is one of the motorized division over here. Your Kathmandu needs to pull back. And then anything else that is low strength, there's 60%. That's still manageable. We'll probably send Taz into the combat soon enough, but we've still got a decent bit of troops in the Oh, actually, another unit from Busan needs to pull back. That one. And then I guess we could send in a few more infantry, at least one more infantry from there into combat instead. But again, it's just a matter of if we can shred through some of these units, then there's a lot less enemy units that are in fighting condition remaining in the reserves there for them. Because the enemy bombardment is really deadly right now. I could probably try building the anti-aircraft guns, but that's probably going to take a while. It's going to be April. Okay, well, if this continues up until April, I'm a bit surprised and slightly depressed at that point. Oh, there we go. Battle Commander Recognition, Shock Troops Advance, British Equipment, there we go, that's something that we needed. And Radar Cruisers Advance, and Port Strike Tactics Advance, there we go. And speaking of Port Strikes, so we got another Naval Bomber. And right, so what was the Battle Commander Recognition? That could be taken away from the queue for the time being. So there we go, we've got 229 now. And they only got 24 divisions now attacking us. But we've got a lot of troops that will need to start retreating soon enough. I think a bit more troops from the northern province at least will, especially the ones that have taken a lot of casualties, will probably need to retreat. Let's see, that's below 60% strength. That can still hold on for a little while. I guess it's just that one for now. And we'll let most of these just rest. Actually, we could probably send in one more unit in there, because there's going to be quite a bit of rotating troops soon enough. Oh, and I think they just brought in more troops there. Oh yeah, they did. Mostly headquartered in garrisons though, I think, so it's not really the worst thing to happen. But they got 29 units again. Of course, they are encircled, and I'm pretty sure that some other units might still have supply issues. Although, well, maybe not that much. Ooh, we got... Okay, so that's the 5th Division that definitely needs to pull back from the combat. Yeah, that's 51% strength right now. What about... okay, that's 59, 58. Another unit in there. Having some bad times in here. And we probably need to go through the... Okay, yeah, that needs to pull back. That one's already pulled back. Most of these are still actually in pretty good shape. There's another infantry unit over here with some medium artillery. But yeah, we're definitely getting pushed back a decent bit with these attacks. But I think overall, we're still, like, there's a lot of garrisons now that will shatter soon enough. And there's some more units that will probably surrender soon enough. Well, like that one's... well, we've got one of the units that we had attacking pulled out of the combat on its own. Well, it's not literally the worst things to happen. We can probably send Taz into the combat now. But yeah, we definitely need to get a few more of the enemy units crushed in here. They're down to 27 again. Total. Is that one... Okay, the 3rd Division needs to pull back. I think the enemy stopped doing bombing runs in here for a little while, so they've probably taken too much casualties themselves. And, okay, the head A. One over here. Which one is it? Wait, was it actually from here? Oh yeah, that one needs to pull back. I do not want to have any units shattering. But they're down to 25 units again. And one of the infantry units has now surrendered. So that is brilliant. Okay, they've got the elite light infantry in here, which is down to 27% strength. So that might actually shatter once we get a little bit damage done on it. And, okay, the 9th Division from the northern side needs to pull back. Do we have any more troops there that could join in the combat? It's looking a little bit bad right now. We've got some reinforcements heading in here, of course, but those aren't going to be able to join in the combat immediately. So I suspect we may need to send in a few more units from across the river into the combat in the meanwhile. But there's another garrison that will probably surrender soon enough. So I suspect that... Okay, they're down to 24. There's another garrison that will... Yeah, that's going to surrender soon-ish. There's going to be some more shattering down here at the bottom of the list. Ooh, there we go, bombing sites. Very nice, very nice. Are we doing any bombing runs on those? Oh, right, we have done at least one at some point. Because we've taken a lot of casualties in there. And these... Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and give orders to intercept day and night. We're going to go aggressive. Just so that we can fight off some more of these ground attacks to save us a little bit more strength on the combatant units. And, okay, the 2nd Division over here needs to... What's it from here? Oh yeah, that one needs to pull back. The problem is that we've got so many units in here that it's kind of difficult to keep track of who's ready to fight and who needs to pull back. Oh, they got the interceptors causing problems for us. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why we're not really doing all that well in terms of the airport. We just don't have the airfield nearby, and the only decent-sized airfield that is in here is in the enemy city right now. Plus, of course, they got plenty of airfields in Japan, and we just don't have the range right now. Okay, so we got another unit in Busan. That one needs to pull back. So we've got 3 units in the reserves of the combat. We'll probably keep it that way for now, while we deal a bit more damage on the enemy. Okay, that's 25% strength on the elite light infantry. There's some more garrisons that will probably surrender soon enough. It's already February now. But like after this combat, we should get a truce with Japan, if I'm not mistaken. There we go, down to 24 units again on the enemy side. They got the... Oh, they got another light infantry in here. So that must be something that they transport in recently. Oh, we're going to get another naval bomber soon enough. Oh, it looks like the armored division will need to pull back soon enough, but it can probably stay in the combat for a little while, just to buy a bit more time for the other troops to regain organization. There's actually another division that could now jump in from there, and then over here we could probably send in a few more units. Let some of them still rest, because we've still got more troops in the combat that we need to have in there. Army asks for more money. Okay, well, they're not asking for too much yet. Oh, naval air targeting. There we go. And we got the next naval bomber. There we go. So that naval bomber air group is now complete. And we'll get some more infrastructure soon enough. We're also starting to work on the... Well, we're getting a decent bit of progress on the infantry corps that we got underway. Well, one of the infantry corps that we got underway. I think the armored division up from here needs to pull back from the combat. Anything else that we could throw back into the meat grinder? Probably not too much yet. I mean, it's down to 23 units, though. That's 20% strength on that elite light infantry. Oh, boy. Oh, and there's a whole lot of air combat in here. Okay, so we might need to just let the planes rest for a little while. I'm actually going to go ahead and send these back to... Where do we have a nice-sized airfield? I suppose Tianjin will do. Do we have... we should have the other interceptor group here, yeah. If we were to send these in here, we can at least deal some damage again. And then do we have any more troops that we could send into the combat? We do. We need to keep the combat going. It's kind of a life and death situation in here. Hopefully we can also get a little bit more infrastructure, especially into the northern province in here, because that could definitely use a bit of help. Now, I'm pretty sure that that will be done in due time. Well, April, okay, so it's going to take a while still. At least in March, we're going to get some of the anti-aircraft guns, so that's going to start dealing some passive damage on the planes. Ooh, synthetic rubber. Guangzhou, there we go. I should be able to actually start upgrading that. Or maybe not yet. Well, there's synthetic rubber now, and there's one level for it thus far. Aha, there we go, now we're going to upgrade it. It's going to take a little bit of crude oil, but that's manageable. And actually, speaking of crude oil, let's go ahead and do some more trading with the Soviets. It's a bit of a cheesy way to do that, like just doing a very small trades. But it's just, we kind of need to do it that way, to be able to hold on to that. Okay, the 2nd Infantry Division needs to pull back from the combat. That's looking a bit worse for wear. We've got some infantry units now from the north that could join into the combat once more. They're starting to get some more headquarters in the combat as well. So they are down to 22 units, and as soon as we start shattering a few more, there's also a lot of the infantry units that will start surrendering, I reckon. There's the 13 infantry division that should probably pull back. We'll pull that one out of the combat, and then I suppose the mercenary infantry can join back in. Ooh, well, the 8th division is looking a little bit bad. Yeah, we'll go ahead and toss that, we'll pull that one out. And we can, well, this one can actually wait for a little bit longer with the organization. But they are down to 20 units now. And a lot more of them will start surrendering. Ah, there we go, air support advance. So ground attack efficiency goes up and all that. How are our close air support doing anyway? Oh, these need to be repaired. I suppose what I could do is send these down to Beijing. We still have another 2 sets of close air support, to be fair. Of course, if we do any sort of flying in here, then the Japanese Air Force will just wreck us because they got the capacity, we do not. But on the other hand, we are still doing pretty good in the combat in here. We're down to 18 units now total. And I suspect some more of the infantry units will start surrendering soon enough. We did at least... oh. Right, both... Oh, no. There's the one elite light infantry division in here. Right, so the rubber shortage is actually getting slightly better now. And, of course, since we are upgrading the stuff, it's going to take a while before we get the proper bonuses from... or more bonuses from it. But that is still helping the situation. I might go ahead and put in a few more destroyers underway. Now we're looking over here. There's still a lot of ground attack. So especially the northern province is taking pretty hefty beating. And I think Alberta is going to have to pull back from the combat soon enough. But the enemy is down to 16 units. So right now, most of the enemy units are in the combat. There's one that is, well, that's one that can't join the combat. So yeah, there we go, 15. Just a few more shattering. I mean, I suppose the headquarters are not going to last very long in this pounding. And thus, we can go ahead and... artillery pounding, that is. Right, we are hopefully able to send in a bit more troops. Or, oh yeah, that could be sent in. We could probably go ahead and pull back one of the other units that is... yeah, Alberta is going to have to pull back. So did he get... oh yeah, there we go. That's a whole lot. Urban Warfare Master. It's pretty decent. Order of the August 1st, 3rd class. Order of Independence and Freedom, 3rd class. And then Order of Liberate. 3rd class. Well, fair enough. Oh, we're now earning some of the 2nd class ones. There we go. Hey, airplane radio communication. And, oh, we can get submarine radar as well now. But we don't really need to worry about that one too much. But they're down to... okay, they've still got 15 units. They've got some headquarters that are not in the combat too much yet. But there's some of the infantry units that will start surrendering. Yeah, they're down to 14. And some more of the headquarters are probably going to shatter very shortly. So I think it's just a matter of time before they are surrendering in here. Yeah, no, there we go, down to 11 units. Now, to be fair, we're also down to 11 units. And we... okay, we got another unit from Busan that definitely needs to pull back out of the combat. That one. Do we have anything else that we could send in? I suppose we've got another infantry unit, at least. That can be tossed back into the fire. And then can... okay, there's some of the mercenary, at least, in here. Is there anything else that we could actually send back into the combat? I suppose Kathmandu's can rejoin. Of course, most of these are not in the combat actively, but I suppose we can go ahead and pull back the mercenary infantry from here. That's looking a bit worse for wear. Oh, there we go. They're down to 9 units. Plus that, okay, 8 units, 7. We don't need to count that one in there because it won't join the combat. So now it's just headquarters, 2 garrisons, 1 elite light infantry, which is pretty close to shattering. Well, relatively close to shattering. 2 infantry units that are very low on organization, and then a set of mix support. So I think we're going to be mostly fine over here. I think what we could even do is we'll take the 5th infantry division from here. I could use a bit of rest. Make room for some more fresher units to join in. Ooh, submarine troop rare thing. There we go. Still doing a lot of bombing, but I suppose at the same time we're also slowly breaking our way through here. Like every daytime, we're making more and more headway. Nighttime, we don't really deal all that much damage, mind you, but that's to be expected, let's be honest. Okay, there we go. The garrison is probably going to be gone soon, and one of the infantry divisions is once again surrendering. The warrior division, there we go, that's gone. The garrison is going to be gone, and the headquarters is probably going to be gone soon enough. Plus, the one more infantry unit at the top there, that's not going to last very long, unless they bring in a whole lot of units now. I think the battle for Busan is going to be over. in the next few days, actually. Might even be... Oh, there we go. Major victory. Oh, I want to see the stats of this. So we lost 106,000 men. They lost 50,000 men. But at the same time, they did actually lose a lot more than that overall. Because they had a lot of troops in there that surrendered. Oh boy. Does that mean there should be a event after this, I'm pretty sure. But our troops probably need a bit of rest after this. There's a bit of a massive combat in there. How much do we need to reinforce? 53 manpower, okay. So I'm pretty sure that there should be an event now. Soon enough for the peace deal. Oh, this military production, okay, so that wasn't the event. It might be that it needs to go through a month or something like that. So how we're looking, okay, yeah, we can keep that going. A land-based airborne radar, okay, yeah, that can be taken off the list. Let me go ahead and build a bit of airbase in here. So we don't have any active front lines. The British are pushing further south over here, so that removes another front line for us. Ooh, aviation air source radar, there we go. So right now, I suppose at this point, it could be time for us to start taking some of the infantry at least. Well, this is part of the northern garrison. Okay, well, that's not going to be the case for much longer, I reckon. We're going to start moving some of the troops to the west of the nation. Although, I suppose one of the things that we might want to do, make sure that the supply lines to the west are going to be viable. I'm going to go ahead and build up infrastructure pretty much to the max around here. It's going to give us a bit more construction practical. Not that we necessarily need... Well, I suppose we do need it. But it's not going to be necessarily a desperate situation right now, luckily. Actually, which way is going to be going through here, I presume? Mostly that we can send in supplies in here for the troops that are preparing to move into Soviet Union. And once they start moving through, they'll at least be able to bring in some of the supplies with them. Although it's a very small amount, so it's still going to be a very awkward situation at times. But there we go. Let's actually go ahead and do another trade with the Soviets while we can. So we'll get to 140 relations with them. So now if we have a look at the... How quickly are we drifting? It's going a little bit faster again. Of course, joining the faction is still going to be very, very far away. That should be a pretty decent victory over here. We'll cast the Japanese out of the mainland. Well, okay, there's a bit of Siam still in their control, but that's none of my business, really. Alright, that does remind me, though. One thing that is my business is time to move away the troops from Taiwan. Let's go ahead and just rebase that into Taichung. But did we have the landing... Oh, right, we have the landing craft over there. Well, that's going to be fine. But yeah, we'll definitely take the Mountaineers away. We'll probably want to transport one of the corps in here, so that's part of the Southern Army, that's also part of the Southern Army. Okay, well, that can stay there for now. We'll send one of these probably into the island itself. We'll get the Mountaineers in here, I suppose. I'm going to go ahead and move this one to Fuzhou, and then we'll take one of those headquarters, transport that over, and then we'll just use that one to organize the defense in here. And then we'll take the other two corps out of the island. Saving us a little bit of... or a bit less risk for convoys, and we're going to have a bit more planes perhaps on the island then. Not that our planes are particularly great, mind you, but yeah, it might help. I'll pre-war our construction. Close air support prototype advance. There we go. We might want to... Can we keep on researching that one? We can. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and toss that back to the top of the list. Because the close air support is kind of the shortest range planes that we have right now. So upgrading that a little bit further would probably be within our interest. Let's take another... Okay, this is part of the first army. I'm going to take this corps and start sending it also to the west. Did we have... Oh, right, we do have the Western Army in here. But it doesn't have particularly good leaders. So I think at this point it might be time for... where's the Albertus? Right, Albertus. You've got so good traits in there. I don't think you necessarily need to be earning anymore. I'm going to make you a general. Then we'll just get someone else. I suppose I'll take control of that myself. And then we'll get the General Albertus over here for the Western Army. Because that is quite a set of traits there. And actually, is there... Let's see, logistics... so there is Logistics Genius, Logistics Master, and Logistics Wizard. So that should already reduce the supply consumption of the troops underneath him a decent chunk. We've got the Western Army group, which doesn't have a particularly good leader in there either, to be fair. But that can be as is for now. We don't really have a lot of troops in there quite yet. But there will be. I suppose another thing that I could do is I could take the Motorized Corps, which does have Logistic Wizard General at least. And start sending this one... I'm going to send it to Beijing at least. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to send it all the way back to Europe or not. Or if I'm actually going to save it in here in case we start fighting against the Allies at some point. I don't know if we need to. But if we do, then yeah, it would be probably a wise idea to do so. It looks like the Soviets, well, the front line with the Soviets and Germans is fairly, or very much a straight line right now. They have lost Sevastopol, unfortunately, but I suppose that does give them a bit of bonus, doesn't it? So yeah, that does help them. But I do see that we are actually out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.